Welcome in, everybody. I want to know what the tarot wants to say. What tarot tells us about what went on inside Buzzard's mind regarding the murder of poor Melodee Buzzard. Money. We've covered this case, and it doesn't get any sadder. I mean, wow. Really and truly, are they all not sad? Woods concealed. What was on her mind when she murdered Melodee Buzzard? So far, we have very little emotion here. I'm going to get clarifiers. I'm going to pull, let's just say 8 or 9 from this deck, and then fear. Let's go with these in order. What's going on in Ashlee Buzzard's mind when she murdered Melodee rather, Buzzard, her 9-year-old daughter? I hope y'all had a good holiday. And here's hoping that 2026 is an easier time. I'm going to do a New Year's looking back on. It's funny because this one has come up multiple times. I'm going to do a New Year's celebration, if you will, on true crime in 2025 and what that looked like, and recap the stories for live. So stay tuned for that. I think that'll be a fun thing to do. Okay, so wow, we've got money. What is inside Ashlee Buzzard's mind? I'm asking the cards regarding Melodee Buzzard's murder. Now, of course, she's innocent until proven in a court of law to be otherwise guilty, but she has been charged with murder. So we will cover her next court hearing, by the way, January 7th. And I did a video Saturday here. Go check that out if you missed it. So on her mind was money, woods and concealed, so hiding, and fear. This gift package, I'm going to get clarifiers, but what I really suspect here is that in her mind, she was doing a favor. This was a gift. And so I have read this card before in the reading, but I interpreted that to be trafficking. Just because we covered it, we watched Criminally Obsessed, and the PI that was tracking her, and she had done this run before wearing the wigs and the car. It just seemed like trafficking was on the table for him as well. And so I thought perhaps this was a gift to somebody. But now I'm wondering if this was just not a practice run, and if in her mental mindset she thought she was doing Melodee a favor, therefore she was giving Melodee a gift. So I'm going to get clarifiers on this to see which of the two that is. Oh, the YouTube kings, please thumbs up. Stay tuned. This one fell out, greed, so I'm going to put it back in because, as you know, if you're not new here, I don't take the fallouts, the sloppy falls. I take the jumpers. So stay tuned for a New Year's Eve celebration. A handshake, kidnapped, tied. See? That is so bizarre. Ooh. Did she hand her off and somebody else murdered her? I mean, I don't think so. Did something go wrong? This was what she was thinking? Or she was going to make it look like she was kidnapped? Okay, I need clarifiers. What was in her mindset? I mean, she definitely kidnapped her. Maybe she felt her hands were tied, you know? Let's get some clarifiers. 5D portal. Yeah, so she's definitely, to me, that is not based in reality, right? And the fact that this comes with fear tells me this is like a psychotic episode of a non-realistic state. So it looks like maybe she tied Melodee's hands and kidnapped her and concealed her body and the weapon in the woods and took her against her will and potentially really actually even tied her. And what being on her mind was lack of money, financial stress, which we covered on one of the lives. Um, when a mother, I think it's filicide, murders one of their own children. I mean, how horrific. It doesn't get more horrific than that. That one of the markers, if you will, or motives can be a lack of money. We do know that she did declare bankruptcy in the past after her husband, Melodee Buzzard's dad, passed away in a lone solo motorcycle accident. In other words, there was no other cars, involved. Because certainly ran through my mind in curiosity if she was involved in that too. I'm sure investigators wondered as well, because the woman seems pretty callous and calculated. Just my opinion. So I'm going to get clarifiers, but it really looks like she is delivering what she thinks is a gift to Melodee. And that's the psychosis, you know? So let's get some clarifiers. Wow, wow, wow. Okay, so we've got money that came first. Clarifiers on money, please, Spirit. Clarifiers on money. Elephant, a long journey, physical or mental, will leave you wiser at the end. So she knew this journey, she planned this because it's saying she's taken a long journey, and she sure did. Will leave you wiser at the end. Isn't that fitting? That's like her state of mind. Like this, maybe that's the gift. The gift is to herself that she's doing the right thing. She'll be wiser. Wow, wow, and effing wow. That in her head, she'll be wiser. This is a gift to herself because of the financial constraints. Disappointment in a friend or lover. So, disappointment in her financial situation, in Melodee herself. Man, I want to clarify her on that. Let's get some clarifiers on disappointment. Wow. Disappointment. Let's get some clarifiers on disappointment. Innocence. This one fell out, and not renewal. So, not renewed. So, disappointment in innocence in Melodee is what I'm getting here, because this is like the child's energy of innocence. It's the lily flower of innocence. And we've gotten renewal of spirit. Renewal. Oh, so this might have been the gift of her renewed innocence, of her renewed feeling free and young and carefree. Aha. Let's see. Let's get a clarifier on that. Is that her renewal and gift to herself of wanting to be free and innocent like a child, no cumbersome, monetary responsibilities? Is that what this is? Mountains and goals. So she had goals, and this goal was part of the freedom and this renewed innocence. Wow. This is pretty mind blowing. Okay, let's get some clarifiers. I'm going to get star guidance. Okay, so she was guided. Wow. So this is the psychosis. This is what the cards are saying, that this is the psychosis, that she was guided, that in order to reach her goals and to renew her financial situation and her constraints, that she needed to be free and innocent and take this journey and give herself this gift of, you know, a renewed chance, and to leave the disappointment of her life and the financial constraints behind. And that this was a gift to herself. And this This was her inner guidance. This is her inner belief, her inner psychosis, her inner mindset. Let's move it here so you can see it. Wild, wild, holy wild. Okay, let's get some clarifiers on kidnapped and woods concealed. Wow, wow, wow. I usually do them one at a time, but it feels like the energy is lined up like this today. So that's what we're doing. So I want the kidnapped handshakes, hands tied. She kidnapped her, tied her hands, but I also really feel energetically this was what I was saying was Ashlee Buzzard's psychosis. In her head, she felt like her hands were tied, but she could have, but she also did literally kidnap her. I mean, Melodee had no idea what was going on. She took her cross country, probably not of her own free will. I mean, at 9 years old, she would just go along because she had no clue what mom was planning. Well, I mean, how could she? It's just the sickest thing, the sickest thing. So I want to get clarifiers on what's concealed. I mean, I really feel like the weapon. I really, really feel like the weapon, and she tried to conceal the location with changing the, you know, problems to be resolved. We've got crib, birth or conception of a child. Well, there we go. Yeah. Yeah. So she left and concealed her child. This is the baby in the woods, problems to be solved. So she saw Melodee as a problem. There we go. This is what we said here, the psychosis. She was gifting herself something, and she saw Melodee as the problem. So the problem child was concealed, tried to be hidden in the bush, and this was going to solve her problems. This is her mindset. This is what the reading is. It's telling us what's inside the mind of Ashlee Buzzard at the time of Melodee Buzzard's murder. This is uneffing believable. Give me a clarifier, please, on the kidnapped handshake. You will be shown the way. A handshake. Situations in balance that require careful handling. So, what was on her mind? That she would be shown the way. So, she's got some psychosis here. Again, this star is that she was being guided. In her head, she thinks she's being guided. So, she left worried, but sort of relying on she would be shown where to go. Maybe she didn't have a planned route. I'm not really sure. But this was a really tenuous, balanced situation for her. She knew she was trying to conceal something based on this card. And one other one fell out here, which is bowl, plenty of material things. I'm almost picking up like this is the feeling she was telling herself of the reward. She'll have more money, less mouths to feed, you know, the cost of raising a child. The filicide homicide motive, one of the motives, is the financial constraints. And the other one, there's several. We talked about it on the live when she was first arrested. The other one being psychosis, and they're both present here, which is very interesting. So let's get some clarifiers on the fear and the 5D portal. And then I'm going to pull some tarot cards because I haven't even done that yet. There it is, a tarot reading. Fear, psychic ability. So this I is not her psychic ability, is her fear that she's being watched, and she was being watched. Far away, a distinct friend is thinking about you, dog far away. So she was worried she was being watched, and she was going to be watched. She was worried she was going to be watched and followed. She was worried she was going to be watched and followed. That was her fear. Okay, let's get some more, please. Period of prosperity and abundance. There we go again. And Cain, pay attention to your health. So here we go again. Motive. Less financial constraint. She had ill health. And she wasn't well mentally. This is obviously clear, right? Okay, let's get some clarifiers Let's just get some general clarifiers on this with this deck, and then I'm going to pull out the tarot. This one just kind of fell out, so let's get some clarifiers on Melodee Buzzard's mindset, or Ashlee Buzzard's rather mindset. What was inside her head the time she murdered her daughter? Whoops, this one fell out. These two jumped out. Oh, this is well, I'm going to take this because this doesn't normally end up in this deck. So I'm not sure how it ended up back here because I always remove the cards. But for some reason, I'm really believing that this was meant to come out. It's like it's representing a note. Like she wanted to tell her daughter a note, but this snake in the grass, energetic movement that she had to like move around and conceal her and make all these moves, that she felt like this letter of, I have to do this, kind of in her head. That's the energy I'm getting from that, which is really weird. um okay, so what else is in her mind at the time? That she's got to move, that she's got to move their body, that she's got to move the weapon. Let's get some clarifiers on this movement. What is this movement? Knight of Swords. Yeah, very clear, fast moving energy. Like she had to move fast. So it was like a fast shooter move out. That's the energy I'm getting. Shooter in the head. It wasn't a long, drawn out thing, is the energy I'm getting. God, this is getting very viewer discretion is advised feeling. Um, what else? Let's get some more. Um, hotels and motels. So so abuse, neglect, sad, emotional, and angels. So in her mind was at the time moving fast, 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 fast. These two very clear thinking, move, 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 move. This is the fastest card in the deck. You got movement right here. Move and hustle. Um, I feel like this is after the deed. Just get in and out of the hotel. Don't be seen. And again, I'm kind of picking up this prayer. She's with she's better off. I'm better off. This is for everybody's best. This is what I was guided to do. Sort of note message to Ashlee. Neglect, and sad emotional neglect and abuse. Like I don't. I'm not sure I understand this. Like so let's get clarifiers. Does Ashlee in her head think that she neglected Melodee? No, I doubt it. So let's get some clarifiers. What's the sad emotional and abuse neglect related to? Who is it related to? Okay, so the Nine of Swords, somebody that can't sleep at night. These fell out. I'm going to put them back in. They will come back out if they're meant to. This is somebody who can't sleep at night. Anxiety. Okay, now I'm getting it. She was anxious and felt sad about her own mental state and not being emotionally there. And perhaps she was neglectful with Melodee because of her own mental state and sadness. That's what I'm getting. And so there might have been an element of this is like so hard on me. I'm devastated. Like this is going to be the solution. Like you're better off and I'm going to be better off because I can't cope. Because the Nine of Swords is like in your head. Oh, you can't even see it. Sorry, folks. Is like in your head. You know, you just can't sleep at night. You're like anxiety ridden. And so she's in her head thinking, this has to happen, and that my emotional state is in neglecting my daughter, that this is a gift for, remember I was saying at the beginning, energetically, I felt like this was a gift to both of them. And so the underlying original message is mainly Ashlee thinking this is a gift to herself and being guided to do this. But there's also this element of her sort of getting to a certain extent the level with which her mental illness has compromised her ability to care for her daughter, her ability to cope, her ability to work, her financial situation, and to care for her daughter. And there's an anxiety associated to that, and hence the pressure and the need and want to release and unburden the financial pressures of being a mom and caring for a child and another mouth to feed, which is sick. But again, we have a psychosis here. We have a mental state disorder. And so this is wild. And the hotel moving, not getting stopped. So that might explain, like, it was not a psychotic state, like it was planned, but this 3,000 kilometer or mile trip in 3 days is this energy of I gotta move, right? Well, that was a wild reading. Okay, everybody, do all the YouTubey things. Tell me what you think. And thank you for being here. Love and light.